It's Monday the 4th of May and we return to our studio for recordings of these business videos. The recordings being done at proper social distancing, the studio being manned with a skeleton crew and all social distancing as you would expect. Well, today I just wanted to catch up with John Elliott. John is a leading manufacturer in the UK. He's well known in the northeast of England as a campaigner on various different issues, and he runs EBAC, which is based in Newton Aycliffe and makes water coolers, domestic dehumidifiers and washing machines. John, you're obviously at home at the moment and socially distancing, but tell me about the factory. How's the factory going? Has it closed? Is it open? What's the plans for the future?
It's virtually closed, actually. Production-wise, we're closed. We've got people working from home on things like marketing, product design still going ahead. That's important for our future, of course. They're equipped now to work from home quite effectively. So probably got 20, 30 people working from home. Maybe it's half a dozen people in the factory doing shipments and receipts and dealing with odds and sods. We're a very small number. We intend to get back to manufacturing in about a week's time. And we're now preparing for that so that we can do it absolutely at no risk. Number one priority is risk of employees. And that's number one, that's the main priority.
In my own business, that's exactly my priority, and I am in with a very small skeleton crew, obviously recording this interview, but while we're not recording the interviews, we're preparing our office, we're laying out grids on the floor 2 meters apart, we're getting all the sanitary wipes in and setting a very tough set of rules to make sure that we prevent infection and get things as under control as possible. I presume that's the kind of thing you'll be doing as well.
Exactly. No, it's got to be number one priority, health and safety.
You've been quite vocal also on where public policy needs to be. Let's talk about one thing I know you have strong opinions on, the wearing of masks. Neither of us have a mask on at the moment, but you feel that masks could benefit and maybe the instruction on masks need to be more clear.
I think there's no doubt at all that masks work, and the evidence is there to be seen. If you look at countries where wearing masks is normal, you'll find their death rate has been less than 1% of ours. So that's got to tell you something. And I think the reason is misunderstood, unfortunately. People think masks can stop you getting the infection. In fact, the big thing is they stop people spreading the infection. The thing to remember is the virus can only leave you through your mouth or nose. Once it gets out there, it can go anywhere. It can contact people indirectly. It could land on something and someone else touches it. So it can only be transferred between people, directly or indirectly. If we can stop it getting out of the nose and mouth, then it stops spreading. End of. And it can't survive. The virus can't survive outside of people. So that if we can use masks more to stop people spreading it, then it would disappear.
Will you be asking or encouraging your team in the manufacturing production lines to wear masks?
We'll be wearing masks and taking lots of other care as well. Make sure any doubt at all of symptoms, washing hands and all those things. It's impossible to stop physical contact because if you're manufacturing a product, you're touching the product. So we've got to be realistic there. So it's washing hands, wearing gloves, whatever we can to reduce the risk. First, making sure as best we can that there isn't anyone coming into work that's got the virus.
You've also got some pretty clear views on the kind of methodology you'd like to see the government adopt when it comes to tracing contacts. Now, obviously, the government hasn't properly revealed its policy on contact tracing yet. So while giving them the benefit of the doubt, what would you like to see them do?
My concern about the government is they're spending all the time trying to deal with red herrings and not dealing with the real issue and dealing with the press, which is tremendous pressure on them. And I'm afraid they're spending so much time debating things which really should not be debated. We've got to stop it spreading. There should be a person, a czar, appointed by the government whose total focus is to stop people with the infection spreading it. It isn't only the people who've got symptoms, it's the people before symptoms appear. But that can be done by investigating the person who's showing the symptoms, who they've been in touch with over the last few days, isolate all of those people. Then the rest of us, if we could do that, if we could isolate everyone who's got symptoms or been in touch with them, then it's impossible to spread. So the rest of us could actually go around our lives totally normally.
Well, clearly that's something you'd like to see them do, and we're probably going to hear a little bit more about how mobile phone technology will work for that. Let me ask you a question.
Mobile phones are not red herring, you see. Let's keep it simple. We need a person, a good organizer, a good manager, to be given the simple task of stopping it spreading and develop methodology to do that. There's lots of people sitting at home now could be used as volunteers. So that you've got to make sure that people who are infected can't spread the virus. That's the sole objective. If we achieve that, everything else is irrelevant. Well, let me give you an example in a production line. If we had a problem with, let's say that we're making dehumidifiers and 1 in every 10 was leaking, then we've got two options. We can either put in something to repair the leak, or we could actually go back to and find out why it's leaking and stop that. And that's what is always the best thing to do, not always the easiest. Get back to the source. And this is the same. The source of infection is from the nose and mouth of the infected. Let's find the infected people, and we can do that reasonably efficiently and stop them spreading it.
John, thank you very much for joining us. Stay in touch with our viewers on LinkedIn and other platforms, and I hope your restart of the factory goes very well in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you.